My dear friends, today on the 18th Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year C, we are invited to reflect on the question deep in every human heart. What truly gives life meaning? We live in a world that chases wealth, success, and security, but deep down we know these don't last forever. Through today's readings, God teaches us to let go of greed and live as people of faith, gratitude, and love. This is the same deep question that troubled the author of Ecclesiastes, written at a time when the Jewish people lived under foreign rulers and life was hard. The writer, calling himself the teacher, looks at all the toil and struggle of human life and declares, "Vanity of vanities, all is vanity." The Hebrew word for vanity, hebel, literally means vapor or breath, something fleeting, impossible to grasp, here one moment and gone the next. In today's verses, the teacher talks about a person who works very hard with wisdom and skill. But when they die, all their work is left to someone else, and that person may not even deserve it. Even in life, they are restless, anxious, unable to sleep, and it all feels meaningless. This was a big question for people at that time, too. They saw kings build great cities and temples, but after a while, everything fell apart. Even good, hard-working people died just like everyone else. These verses remind us that our hard work and achievements don't last forever. The teacher is teaching us to see that we are not in control and life under the sun is short and uncertain. If we make a whole life about success or wealth, we will end up worried and disappointed. Instead, we can choose to enjoy each day as a gift from God, to do our best without being anxious about the future. Life is short like a breath. Qoheleth teaches us humility, reminding us that life is a gift to be received, not a project to be controlled. In the second reading, taken from St. Paul's letter to the Colossians, Paul encourages them to stay faithful to Jesus. Some people were teaching strange ideas and rules that distracted the people of Colossae from the gospel. Paul reminds them that when they were baptized, they became new people. They died to their old way of life and were raised to a new life with Christ. That's why Paul says, if you were raised with Christ, seek what is above. He's telling us to keep our hearts and minds on Jesus, not just on the things of this world. This doesn't mean ignoring life on earth, but it means putting God first in everything. Paul then gives some examples of what we need to leave behind, things like greed, anger, and bad desires. He even says we must put to death these sins because they don't belong in the life of someone who follows Jesus. Paul reminds us that we should stop lying and hurting each other. When we follow Jesus, we become a new self. And every day, God is helping us to become more like Him. He also says that in Christ, everyone is equal. No matter where you come from, what your job is, or who you are, because Christ is in all of us. This reading is a good reminder to think about what really matters in life. We worry about money, success, and what others think, but Paul reminds us to focus on Jesus and live His way. We can ask ourselves, what old habits or sins do I need to leave behind? How can I show kindness and love to others, knowing that Christ lives in them too? With God's help, we can live as His new creation, people of hope, peace, and love. We all know someone, maybe ourselves, who skips meals, misses family time, even compromises health just to earn more, save more, build more. And yet at the end of the day, we still feel something is missing. In today's Gospels passage taken from Luke, Jesus calls the man in the story a fool, and that word stings. In the Bible, a fool isn't just someone who makes a mistake. A fool is someone who lives as though God doesn't matter. What made this man foolish wasn't that he was rich or successful. There's nothing wrong with working hard, saving, or enjoying life. What made him a fool was that he believed his wealth could secure his future and give him true life. He lived as though he was in control, as if tomorrow was guaranteed, and as if God and others didn't exist. If you read carefully, you'll notice how self centered his thoughts are. He talks to himself, about himself, and for himself. He never thanks God for the harvest. He never considers giving to the poor. He never even talks about his family. His world is small, just him and his barns. Jesus warns that greed shrinks our souls. When we live only for ourselves, we forget what really matters: love, relationships, generosity, and faith. This passage makes us pause and ask, what am I trusting in? Is my security in my bank account or in God? Am I so busy building my little world that I forget the people around me? Jesus calls us to live differently, to see our time, money, and gifts as opportunities to bless others and honor God. Life is fragile. We can't take anything with us, but we can send love ahead by being generous now. The rich fool's life ended just as he thought he had everything. Let's not make the same mistake. Let's live each day fully loving God and sharing what we have. That's what it means to be truly rich. This week, let's all try to bless at least one person with our time, our help, or our generosity. May God bless us all.